Okay, welcome to World at One. This is Alan Loibner-Waitkus, and what I want to do in this video is give you a tour of the Blackboard shell for the class, as well as an overview of the class to prepare you for everything, hopefully, we will be going over this semester. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this into student view. So this should be similar to, again, it might take a second, but there we go. Okay, so this is the class shell. This is the start page. This is all required template information from Pulaski Tech. Here's what you need to do. This is the video on how to, the class works, the whatever. You can watch it, but it may not relate that much to this class. The important thing here is the course syllabus, which you can download with this, or as we move through, you'll see several of these issue. It was the name of the website I use for these. This is basically a way to make handouts more computer friendly. I'm going to increase. So notice I clicked the corner here to get a full screen version, and you can go through and read everything on your screen. You can zoom in if you're having trouble seeing it, so on and so forth. You need to read the syllabus. More importantly, I think for you probably, is the course calendar. And I break down everything that we do in here week by week. Things are always due on the Saturday by 11:59 p.m., so by the end of the week. And I break it down. Basically, the assignments that you have in here are reading responses. I'll talk about those in a second. And three things, actually. Reading responses, exams, and then you have one big essay at the end of the semester. And we'll be talking about that a lot more later. This is a 4-week class, a 16-week class shoved into 4 weeks. Now, because of that, I'd like to say we're going to do everything I normally would, but that's not possible without killing you and me. But we have to do a reasonable amount of stuff. So the reading in here is going to be pretty intense. Do your best. Read. That's important. You're going to have exams over it. You're going to have to write an essay, those kinds of things. But I've given you some other ways to make things a little easier for you as we move through, and we'll talk about that later. But this is the schedule again. Black is the reading assignments. Your purple here are the due dates. The things are due. So notice this week you're going to read books 10 through 12 in the Odyssey. It may seem like a lot, kind of is, but you just buckle down. And there's some more options. Like I said, you can listen to it, things like that. Week 2, we've got following through here. Week 3, week 4. So you get it. Okay. Again, you can download the course calendar if you want a PDF version, course description, required materials. You will need the Norton Anthology of World Literature, 3rd edition, volumes A, B, and C. What follows A? You'll need that. After you read everything, go around the class, go here. This is the course agreement form. It's set up like an exam. I didn't set this up, so I really had no choice. It shows that it's worth points. It's not really, but you can see you go through and the semester, here's your name, whatever. Okay. And you'll need to do that. Everybody needs to do that. Okay. Lord. Bunch of BS we have to put. Faculty information. You can read all about me. That's not a beer, it's a Diet Coke, but we'll talk about that a little more later. It's not really that important. The big thing with faculty information, this also has to do with contact. When you go to contact, it gives you all of these different off-course messages. It's best that you email me. Actually, it's not best. It's better than course messages. The best way to contact me is to call me. My phone number is on the syllabus. It's under faculty information. It's under a bunch of different places. Actually, I said call. Text is the best option. Normally, I would say call, but because I get so many calls during the summer, of course, it's an election season, so people are trying to get me to donate money. Text me. If you need to call me to call you, say call me as soon as you can. I will. That's not a big deal. Don't freak out about wanting to talk to me. I have no problem with it. You're not going to drive me crazy, assuming I'm not asleep or in the middle of something else. I'll give you a call, or you can text me if it's a simple question. You can email me, but I can't, assure you that it's going to be that quick of a response. So texting. Don't be scared. I'd say my phone number here, but this is public on YouTube, so I don't want a bunch of Kenyan princes or whatever calling me. The course schedule, again, just another way to download that calendar. Announcements. This is the first place you should go, seeing if there's anything new that I posted. This tour will be posted under here. Of course, you found it. It'll also be under course content. My grades. You can view your grades, your progress, whatever, as we move through. Let's go to course content. This is what's important. There were two kinds of assignments, reading responses, exams, which there'll be a folder for that, and also your final. Okay, right now there's just reading responses because that's the only thing, again, that we have to do this week. You have 2 reading responses due. Now, if you don't get a reading response in on time, don't freak out. Just turn it in. I'll probably still give you credit. Okay, again, we have 4 weeks, so you blink and it's over. I don't want you to drop just because you slept through a deadline or whatever. Okay, now let's go through the other stuff before we move into reading responses. Mr. Loibner-Waitkus's class notes. So this is when I'll post stuff. This will be the second place you go after announcements to see things. Again, you can see here, I stole this from Spark Notes, but it's a cartoon of the Odyssey that breaks it down to make it a little easier to follow for you. Kind of breaks it into 3 parts, even though that's not the way the book's broken up exactly. Here we have something on MLA style you'll need later in the semester maybe, and then a sample MLA essay. This is where I'll post my videos if I have a video for it, or issue stuff. Again, this is what this is. When I say issue, I mean these sort of handouts that are done in a digital method, and I'll post things on things that we read in here. So this is a really important place. Now, some of the stuff that I've already done for you, and you should thank me because these took forever, and I'll try to add the other things we read. Again, when you see something we read in here, it seems like a lot because I tend to want to cover more things as we move through, but what I've done here, this is the Odyssey Audiobook. I have literally legally pirated I won't say what version, but through a streaming service, and actually had to hook because it's copyrighted, had to hook my recorder up to the thing and do it through a microphone, and it was really complicated, but I did it. It's good quality because you can't pirate this. They do a pretty good job of controlling it. But you can go to the website and play it, by selecting it just like you would a regular thing. I break it down into the 24 books, so it's manageable. This is not that long once you sit down and actually hear it, if that's what you want to do. You can always read it, but here's a way to listen to it. Also, you can download the MP3s of each book and listen to it, at the gym, put it on your phone, whatever you want to do. Okay, so again, that's another way to make things easier for you. I want to do everything with reading what we're doing in here, or at least listening to it. Again, Beowulf, I broke up into 3 parts here. You can see, and Sir Galvin and the Green Knight. Those aren't the only 3 things that we do. I'll tinker stuff on here. The Gita, it's not going to be as easy, but I'll see what I can do as we move through. Array terms, that's a big thing. You need to study these as the semester goes on. I want you to know the terms. Now, I did 2 ways to kind of handle these. I did sort of a handout here, again through issue, and you can go through, and so I did it like a normal handout. Again, always don't forget you can zoom in. I know those are hard to read, but you can print this, download it by clicking here, and print it and study these words. You'll need to know them. Now, because it's technically an open book exam, because I can't keep you from that with an online class, I'll probably give more examples than exact definitions, but you need to know these, and those won't be hard. Don't freak out about the exams. You'll have enough time. You can pretty much look up everything if you need to. These are the
allusion, alliteration,
literary term flashcards using Quizlet, and you can do this through our class website or Blackboard shell. And you have various different modes here. These are flashcards, so again, alliteration.
The repetition of the same consonant sounds, usually at the beginning of words in close proximity.
So you can turn off that audio too if you want, because that's pretty annoying.
The repetition of the same consonant sounds, usually at the beginning of words in close proximity.
Audio off. Okay. There are other modes too here, so you don't have to just use flashcards. You could do a matching game, and blah, blah, blah. You get the point there. The other way, you can download the literary term handout here if you want the PDF and not download it through issue, or you can actually go to the Quizlet website and view this on a full page or full screen, so you're not limited to this little bitty screen here. So as the semester moves on, look over those words. like I said, you'll have plenty of time on the exams to go back to these, but it's really important to me that you have an understanding of literary terms. Finally, the essay and midterms will be really simple. They'll be included here, probably right in this area. I'll add them in. But the explanatory. Here, though, I want you to do reading responses. Now, what you're going to do is, let's go back to our calendar. We'll start here page. It has a reading assignment, and then you have a reading response, or more than one probably, because again, we're shoving 16 weeks into 4 weeks. This week, reading response 1, introduction, is done, and then reading response 2 on the Odyssey books 1 through 10. Again, I know it's a short week, and this is actually a shorter assignment than most weeks, but you may not have books yet. Don't freak out. Just get this one in when you can, as soon as you can. The introduction, though, I would like this week. So that's what we have this week. Reading response 1, reading response 2. 1 is your introduction, 2 is over the Odyssey books 1 through 10. So what you're going to do is go back to course content. Reading responses. Reading response 1, that was your introductions. Click there. Okay. So it says reading response 1, introduction. Okay. But what you're going to do is create blog entry, type a title, just give it a title, and then create your reading response entry. Now, this week it's an introduction, so just introduce yourselves. As a general rule, let's go back. So reading response 2, remember that was on the Odyssey books 1 through 10, which if you click on it, it'll tell you here. What you're going to do is you're going to write minimum, these are worth, let's go through that. Your midterms, 20 points, your finals, percent. 20% for your midterm and final each, so that adds up to 40%. 40% for the essay alone, so that's the heaviest, most weighted item that we do. And then that leaves, so 20, 20, 40, that's 80, 20% are reading responses. Basically, that's just to make sure you're reading, thinking about, it's not graded on grammar, it's not graded on really anything other than you did it. I want you to don't just tell me what you read. We all read it. Okay, remember, these will show up for the whole class to look at. And so what I want you to do is more your thoughts on it, and you can really focus in on minutia, or you can big scale what you think. Really the only requirement here is 100 words to make sure that you're reading and that you're, putting in enough, we're getting enough writing in as this class. Like I said, 99 times out of 100 people get credit for it, full credit, and those add up. We have a total of 10, and they add up to your to 20% of your grade. So you can think of each of these as worth 2% of your grade. That should be free points. So 20% of your grade should be free points. Okay, these are always due by the end of the week that they're done. Again, like I said, this week, do your best to get through books 1 and 10 of the Odyssey, but don't give up on the reading. If you get behind, or we're in the middle of something, move on, and then don't, not finish this week and then get trapped there and never finish anything else. Okay, so you'll notice this, they all correspond to the numbers on the course calendar responses in there. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or text me, better. This week, you want to do your introduction, get your textbooks, and read books 1, and those are basically chapters, but books 1 through 10 of the Odyssey. Do your introduction reading response, do your reading response on books 1 through 10, and that's it for the week. Okay, things will get a little harder in the passage. Just keep telling yourself when you kind of feel overwhelmed, you're getting credit for 4 weeks of normal semester and 1 week in here. So we really have to kind of hitch up our panties and run and get stuff done. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, I think we are done. So until next time, I'm Loibner-Waitkus.